Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a huge topic, artificial intelligence. We're going to break it all down from the very beginning so you can really get a handle on the tech that is, well, pretty much changing everything.
So let's start with something you probably do every day. How does Netflix just know what you want to binge watch next? Or, how does your phone unlock with just a glance? Have you ever really stopped to think about what's happening behind the scenes?
Well, the answer, the magic behind all of that, it's artificial intelligence. It's already woven into the fabric of our daily lives, often in ways we don't even see.
Okay, so what is AI really? At its heart, it's all about making computers smart. We're talking about giving machines the power to do things that, for the longest time, we thought only humans could do. Recognizing faces in a crowd, understanding what we're saying, or spotting patterns in complex data.
But to really get how AI does all this, we need to pop the hood and look at the engine. And that engine, the thing that powers most of the AI we see today, is something called machine learning.
Now, machine learning isn't some totally separate thing. It's actually a core part of AI. The way to picture it is simple. AI is the big, broad field of study, and machine learning is a super important specialty within it. So yeah, all machine learning is AI, but not all AI is machine learning. Makes sense, right?
And this is where things get really cool. With old-school programming, a person had to write out every single rule, step by step. If this happens, do that. But with machine learning, we flip the script. We don't write the rules, we just feed the computer a ton of data, like a massive amount, and let it figure out the patterns and rules all on its own.
This whole learning thing basically happens in two parts. First up is training. This is where the model just chews through mountains of past data, looking for connections. Then comes inference. That's when it takes everything it learned and applies it to make smart predictions about new stuff it's never seen before.
And what's really wild is that machine learning can learn in a few different ways. Think of it like having 3 different teaching styles. First, you've got supervised learning. This is like studying with flashcards that have the answers on the back. The AI sees tons of examples that are already labeled. This email is spam, this one isn't. Then there's unsupervised learning. Here, the data is just a big, jumbled mess with no labels. The AI's job is to find its own patterns, like grouping news stories about sports over here and politics over there. And finally, reinforcement learning. This is basically trial and error. The AI tries something, and if it does well, it gets a reward. If it messes up, it gets a penalty. It's how we train an AI to get really, really good at games like chess.
Okay, so we've looked at the engine. Now let's get to the brain. We're going to dive one level deeper into a super powerful type of machine learning that's actually inspired by how our brains work. And that's called deep learning.
So, back to our circles, you can see deep learning fits right inside of machine learning. It's a specialized subfield that just cranks the whole learning from data idea up to 11. So why deep? Well, it's because it uses these things called neural networks that have lots and lots of layers. Think of it like a digital brain with layers of interconnected neurons. This deep, layered structure lets it find way more complex and subtle patterns in data than other methods can. And this is a really important difference. You see, traditional machine learning is fantastic when your data is all nice and organized, like in a spreadsheet. But deep learning, it absolutely thrives on the messy, chaotic data of the real world, things like images, human speech, and paragraphs of text. That's its superpower. All right, now we get to the really fun part. The stuff that has been all over the news, the technology that's completely changing the game for creators. Let's talk about generative AI.
And if you look at our diagram, this is the bullseye. Generative AI is a special kind of deep learning. It's one of the most incredible things we can do with it.
So what makes it so revolutionary? It's right there in the name, generative. See, most other AI is about analyzing things that already exist, recognizing a face, classifying an email. But generative AI? It creates. It makes brand new, original stuff that has never existed before. And I'm willing to bet you've heard of these. Maybe you've even played around with them. When ChatGPT writes an essay, or Midjourney dreams up a stunning image, or Sora creates a video out of thin air, yep, that's all generative AI at work.
Okay, so we've drilled down from the biggest concept all the way to the bleeding edge. Let's zoom back out and put this whole map together.
And there you have it. This picture says it all, really. AI is the whole universe, machine learning is the workhorse inside it, deep learning is the super smart brain, and generative AI is that creative spark, right at the very heart of it all.
So if you remember one thing, remember this. AI is the overall goal of creating intelligence. Machine learning is the engine that learns from data. Deep learning is the powerful brain that finds complex patterns, and generative AI is the creative voice that can make something new.
Getting this foundation is so important because it marks a huge shift. For years and years, AI was all about understanding the world. But now it can add to it. It can create. And that, of course, leaves us with the most exciting and maybe a little scary question of all. What's next?